You may think that Transformers are pretty rad, but you could also recall them as consisting of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and the other ones. Maybe you're not ready for the concept of a Transformers gorilla, cheetah, giant scorpion. Now that's a semi-truck too far. Maybe you're thinking, why would they suddenly make up robot animals and dump them in my car movie? Well, then you'd be a little mistaken, because the robots in animal disguise, Maximals, if you will, have a story to tell, and they've got deep roots all over Transformers history.
Each sold separately.
Transformers Rise of the Beasts takes place in the 90s after the Bumblebee movie, so Rise of the Beasts is the second movie chronologically if we're looking at the whole cinematic timeline, with the movies featuring Shia LaBeouf and Mark Wahlberg taking place chronologically after this. Bumblebee probably is the only movie we'll need to pay attention to canonically speaking for Rise of the Beasts, with our eyes focused on Optimus and Bumblebee more so than any of the human characters. Sorry, Charlie. But actually, we're going to have to spend time in the 90s in our world, not the Transformers verse. To figure out what's going on here, we have to go down to 2 dimensions. What I'm saying is, it's time to watch cartoons.
Just what we've been waiting for, huh, Strafe?
The Beast Wars, which is what Rise of the Beasts is based on, is a major Transformers event that is shown in all Transformers universes, and to clarify, the Beast Wars is referring to one singular war. It encompassed American cartoons, Japanese cartoons, but also different comics like IDW, and yes, the Beast Wars are alluded to in Marvel Comics. There were also toy lines that contradicted what the shows were doing and then changed to be like the show, and the show changed to be like the toys. What I'm saying is there are several competing continuities for Beast Wars, so I'm going to focus on the most accepted, consistent version that seems to coalesce with the upcoming movie the most, so I don't want to hear, actually they were techno-organic in Beast Machines, in the comments. Wait, actually, I do. Talk about that more. Why was this one a plant? Plants don't move. In the far future, after the Autobots won the Autobot-Decepticon War, the Maximals, the descendants of the Autobots, emerge along with the Predacons from the Decepticons. Pretty much this is what the two groups evolve into, and being that the Autobots won, the Maximals represent the upper tier of society, and the Predacons are generally considered a lower class. Also, while Maximals are generally represented as mammals and birds, Predacons tend to resemble insects and reptiles, so that'll help you figure out who's which going forward. While the Maximals rule Cybertron society, the Predacons plot in secret to overthrow them and take back control of the planet and the universe. The descendant of Megatron, also named Megatron, which is confusing, modeled himself after, yes, original Megatron. He led the charge by stealing the Golden Disc, a relic held by the Maximals. And yes, the Golden Disc is based on that Golden Disc that NASA actually sent copies of into space from the 1977 Voyager mission, which consists of encoded messages of Earth and its various life forms, and a record with the sounds of human voices, music, and nature from across Earth. These are real objects that exist in space that you can look up online, and one pops up constantly across Transformers media. Anyway, Megatron II stole the disc because he thought it held secrets to help his side's cause, and decided to get on a ship and follow instructions on the disc to find Earth, which apparently had huge amounts of energon, which is fuel to them, and would help them restart and win the war. Optimus Primal and a team intercepted and fought them aboard their own ship, but the Predacons initiated a transwarp that shot both groups across space and time.
We stole the golden disc for nothing, you idiot!
They all crash-landed on prehistoric Earth and found that while, yes, there was lots of energon, it was in a raw and volatile crystalline form that was really dangerous for them to absorb. In order to work around deadly energon radiation, the Cybertronians had to choose new transformation modes based on the organic life forms that lived on the planet. That's why there's a gorilla, dinosaur, cheetah, giant bug, etc. instead of vehicles. What, you're saying evolved primates such as gorillas never existed at the same time on Earth as dinosaurs, and that doesn't explain anything anyway? Well, huh. Anyway, so long as the Transformers are in beast mode, they don't get hurt by energon radiation. Yes, it all makes perfect logical sense.
This is probably a lot for you, huh?
The leader of the Maximals, who I mentioned before, is Optimus Primal, a descendant of Optimus Prime, and his animal form is a gorilla. He has many allies, but the ones in the movie will be Airazor, who transforms into a peregrine falcon, Rhinox, form of a rhinoceros, and Cheetor, who takes the form of a dolphin. Just kidding, he's obviously a cheetah.
Time for this cat to pounce!
Both groups settled into prehistoric Earth and battled over territory and artifacts from a mysterious alien race found on the planet. Eventually, they drew the attention of the aliens, who decided to blow up the planet, but were only thwarted by Optimus Primal sacrificing his life to save Earth. Eventually, they all had a Planet of the Apes moment when they realized they were one, on Earth, and two, back in time, so the struggle shifted into fixing the timeline instead. Meanwhile, Dino Megatron galvanized his forces when he revealed the golden disc he had actually had instructions from OG Megatron on how the Decepticon descendants could travel in time and kill Optimus Prime. Long story short, the Maximals are able to save Optimus Prime and everything gets wrapped up pretty nicely. Save for the aliens, which are pretty complicated and probably not relevant to Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, like I care.
Back to this topic, while the Maximals and to a lesser extent the Predacons are confirmed to be a part of this movie, there are a few presences that make the origin story I told you clearly not what will be depicted, at least in a shot-for-shot predictable way. Only one Predacon is shown so far, Scorponok, and this is likely because the Predacons are not the main antagonists. That honor goes to the Terrorcons, led by Peter Dinklage's Scourge, who is not an especially well-known character and who has not appeared in any movies yet. In the Transformers history, Terrorcons have appeared in about 5 different forms prior to Rise of the Beasts, including as dead Transformers zombified by Dark Energon, a small group of mainly self-interested Predacons/general jerks, and Energon weapon-wielding Transformers created by Unicron, the literal big bad Transformer that destroys planets.
How big can this guy be?
He eats planets. So, like, way bigger than a planet.
Being that Unicron is in this movie, played by Coleman Domingo, it's safe to bet the movie will follow through with that version of the Terrorcons. But don't be shocked if the other elements come into play.
This is too much of a good thing.
Optimus Prime and Bumblebee will also carry over from the 2018 Bumblebee movie, and since Optimus Prime didn't have meaningful interaction with the Maximals in the Beast Wars era, we're thinking their involvement will somehow involve time travel.
Oh, great Scott!
This in the continuity is when Optimus Prime first comes to Earth and starts becoming the leader who everyone came to love in the Michael Bay Transformers movies, alongside Bumblebee from Bumblebee, RC getting what looks like an expanded role from Revenge of the Fallen, and Mirage from Dark of the Moon. It seems like for now, we won't be seeing the likes of Megatron or Starscream in any form. Last year, Paramount announced that Transformers: Rise of the Beasts would be the first of 3 new installments in the Transformers series, and without the Decepticons, it looks like Unicron will be the main antagonist going forward. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Just another odd human custom, I suppose.
Thanks for watching. I'm Kim Horcher, and for more Transformers, here's our review of Bumblebee from like 4 years ago, so definitely check that out for some reason, and don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.